All right, what we're going to do next is go through the movement and the mobility that the shoulder girdle should have. So what I'm going to do is bring up, again, my amazing assistant Jenna. She's going to hop up here on the stage, and we're going to go through some of the basic ranges of motion of that shoulder girdle. So we're going to have Jenna turn towards me just a little bit. There we go. So the first motion that we're going to go through is going to be flexion of the shoulder. So the arm is going to come up and it's going to raise up forward, kind of like a Frankenstein motion. The next motion that we're going to work with is that if her arm hangs at neutral, it's going to go into extension. So the arm is going to go behind her. Now there's not as much extension as there is in flexion because of how the shoulder girdle is designed. So now we'll let her come back to neutral. The next motion we'll have her go through is abduction of the shoulder. And that arm should be able to comfortably come out away from her, and then she'll come back down. Now the next motion she's going to do is going to be a deduction, where if she were abducted, the arm is out, the arm is going to come back in through here. And then the next motion is, if we combine all of those motions together, is going to be called circumduction. So her arm should be able to rotate in a circle, combining flexion, extension, abduction, and adduction, as well as two other motions, which are going to be our external rotation, or our lateral rotation, and our medial rotation, or also referred to as internal rotation. And then one last piece to this shoulder girdle movement is that as the scapula are sitting on the back side of the body, the scapula have to go through two motions of upward rotation and downward rotation, meaning that when the arm moves, the humerus and the arm bone connect to the clavicle, and then what has to happen to continue this motion for her to go higher to the ceiling is that scapula actually has to rotate through this position here and up and down this way. And in addition to that, the scapula also need to be able to elevate and raise up and depress into neutral, and then actually depress down. And then the last motion that the scapula should actually have would be to go into a medial line or protraction, or retraction, and then to go into a protraction. So that scapula, one of the biggest reasons on why people have so many shoulder girdle issues is that the scapula on the back side of the body loses its ability to go through all of those different ranges of motion. So then what happens is that the massive musculature throughout this whole shoulder girdle just lock everything down, and it impinges that, and it smushes that scapula onto the rib cage, and it can impinge on a lot of the nerves, stimulating danger receptors and causing all sorts of problems. So the Relief Through Rolling curriculum is going to be able to take you through all sorts of really simple yet highly effective techniques to be able to increase all of those motions for the shoulder girdle. So thank you very much for your help, Jenna. That was beautiful.